Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, let's dive right into a seriously fascinating historical paradox today. We're going to be looking at a man whose legacy just completely defies all boundaries. We're talking about someone whose very existence challenged the strict religious divides of his era, and yet, somehow, he ended up universally revered across those exact same divides.
So who is this mystic claimed by Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs? It sounds almost like a riddle, right? Just imagine a 15th century poet who fiercely criticized the orthodox practices of major world religions, doing it during a highly polarized time. You'd think he'd be lost to history, but instead, today, he's claimed as a towering saint by three of the world's major faiths.
That man is Kabir. He was a 15th century Indian mystic poet and saint, and his devotional writings were absolutely foundational. I mean, they heavily influenced the Hindu Bhakti movement and the later development of Sikhism. But the stakes of his life were incredibly high. During his actual lifetime, Kabir wasn't exactly celebrated by the establishment. Actually, scratch that. He was literally threatened by both Hindus and Muslims for his unapologetic views. He really wasn't playing it safe. He was out there stirring the pot.
Part 1. Mysterious Origins and Blended Roots.
To really understand Kabir's boundary-breaking philosophy, we have to look at his timeline, or, well, the lack of one. There's a massive scholarly debate surrounding his exact birth and death. Some historians favor a lifespan starting as early as 1398 and ending in 1448, while others argue for a much later timeline from 1440 all the way to 1518. We literally don't even have his exact dates pinned down, which honestly somehow perfectly fits a guy who refused to be put in a neat, tidy box.
And you know, the circumstances of his birth are even more debated and steeped in legend. A lot of followers believe he had a divine origin, coming from a realm of light and incarnating directly onto a lotus flower. But historical accounts largely converge on a more grounded reality. He was found as an infant at Laharatara Lake and raised in the city of Varanasi by a Muslim weaver family, a couple named Niru and Nima.
Think of his background as this incredible cultural melting pot. Raised by Muslim weavers in Varanasi, he eventually became a disciple of the Hindu Bhakti poet saint Swami Ramananda. Through Ramananda, Kabir was heavily influenced by the Vaishnava tradition and Advaita, or monist philosophy. Basically, this is the teaching that God is inside every single person and everything. He was taking the absolute deepest spiritual truths from both Islam and Hinduism and seamlessly blending them together.
Part 2. The Rebel Poet's Voice.
So how exactly did Kabir express this blended worldview? Well, he did it through his poetry, but he completely bypassed the elite, exclusionary languages of the religious orthodoxies. Instead, he used what was called Sadhu Kadi, or Punch Mel Kitri. It's a dialect that literally combines 5 regional languages: Kadi Boli, Braj, Bhojpuri, Marwari, and Awadhi. He purposely used simple words and local dialects to make sure his message of loving devotion could reach absolutely everyone, from the absolute lowest class to the highest.
Let's just pause and listen to the sheer beauty of Kabir's metaphor here. Where spring, the Lord of seasons, reigneth, there the unstruck music sounds of itself. There the streams of light flow in all directions. It perfectly showcases his deep mysticism. For Kabir, the ultimate divine experience wasn't something you found in a stone temple or a physical mosque. It was found through inner devotion, a place of internal light and unstruck music.
And he just keeps building this grand vision in his verse, where millions of Krishnas stand with hands folded, where millions of Vishnus bow their heads, where millions of Brahmas are reading the Vedas. He's painting this picture of a divine realm that totally transcends individual deities. I mean, he takes the biggest, most revered figures of organized religion and places them in absolute awe of an even greater, singular, unnameable truth.
Part 3. The Sharp Critique of Organized Religion.
Now, Kabir wasn't just a quiet mystic writing beautiful metaphors all day. He engaged in a fearless and completely impartial rebellion. He called out the meaningless and unethical practices he saw around him, and he refused to take a side. On the Hindu side, he mocked those who kept the 11th day fast, strictly curbing their grain, only to turn around and break that fast with meat. And on the Muslim side, he called out those who prayed daily and fasted once a year, but still ruthlessly killed chickens in the dark.
His words are just incredibly sharp here. Instead of kindness and compassion, they've cast out all desire. One kills with a chop, one lets the blood drop. In both houses burns the same fire. He concludes that both sides were entirely missing the point. They were engaging in violence rather than showing true compassion. To Kabir, the distinct religious methods of ritual slaughter were just details. The lack of compassion in both houses, that was the real fire burning them down.
Part 4. The Enduring Truth and Legacy.
Okay, so if organized rituals were missing the point entirely, what did Kabir propose instead? Well, here's his formula for truth, broken down into 3 essential steps. Step 1, walk the path of righteousness. Step 2, consider absolutely everything, living and non-living, as divine. And step 3, which is definitely the hardest of all, drop the I, or the ego. Kabir believed that to know the truth, you have to actively detach from the petty affairs of the world and completely drop your ego. Only then can you actually connect with the divine that exists inside everything.
The incredible power of this message is proven by how his legacy survived his death. His verses were so profound that they were immortalized in Sikhism's holy scripture, the Guru Granth Sahib. His followers formed the Sant Mat sect known as the Kabir Panth, and they actually continue to walk his path today. And here is the ultimate paradox. Despite his fierce, unrelenting criticisms of their orthodoxies during his life, he is claimed today as a revered saint by Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs alike.
Which leads us to our final thought for today. If a 15th century mystic found universal truth by dropping the ego, what modern boundaries could we cross today by doing the exact same thing? It's a pretty profound thought to take away from this explainer. Kabir's life shows us that when we stop clinging to our rigid labels and start looking for the divine in everything, the borders between us really do begin to vanish. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning the boundaries around you.